Dave Birkett here from the Detroit Free Press, along with Carlos Monarrez. And Carlos, we have another game to preview this week. Lions against the I was about to say San Diego. Caught myself in the act. Los Angeles Chargers, Week 2. Lions 0-1-1. Chargers 1-0, 1-0-0. But
it's a lot of math already.
You want to test my
yes.
trivia knowledge
before
first, right?
Before we get started on all that stuff, Dave, I know you're a man who doesn't believe in wallets or giving me any money, so I'm gonna be the anti-Dave Birkett.
Very true
on both accounts. So here's my wallet.
Hold on, I'm retweeting your little tweet of me. Yeah.
Did you turn off the light? Yeah. All right.
What the heck is going on?
Dave Birkett has a chance to earn this $1 bill.
Okay.
Okay. If you can answer one trivia question.
Shoot it.
Okay.
Who's on the bill?
That's
George
it.
Washington.
You win. A little tougher than that, okay? I'm from L.A., so it's in L.A. The L.A. Chargers are in town. What is the...
San Diego Superchargers.
The one current Los Angeles pro team that originated in Los Angeles?
Well, it's not the Lakers. It's not the Clippers. They were in San Diego, right? It's not the... One current... So repeat the question for me.
It has to be, what is the one current professional sports team in Los Angeles? The four major pro... I'm not talking about MLS or anything, but the four major pro sports that originated in Los Angeles.
I'm going to say the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Does that count?
No, you lose.
Come on.
You lose. You lose.
Anaheim is Los Angeles.
No.
They branded themselves Los Angeles.
Well, they didn't
Angels
start
of
in
Anaheim.
L.A. either.
Where'd they start?
In Anaheim.
Oh, that's the same thing.
No,
Close
Los
enough.
Angeles. You owe me lunch now.
I don't know.
You saw it, people. Lunch. What am I going to
Wait
get?
a minute. So it's not the Lakers. It's not the... No, it's not the Clippers, right? They're in San Diego.
They were the Buffalo Braves and the San Diego Clippers and the LA Clippers.
I was thinking, I don't know. Who is it?
The Los Angeles Chargers.
That's where they
1960
started?
AFL. Yes, 1 year. And then they moved to San Diego. Oh, my gosh, Dave.
Wow.
So Ocean Prime. Can we go to Ocean Prime now?
That's
Lobster,
interesting.
surf and turf. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. You know, if you'd give me an easier question.
Sorry.
I was going to give you this. I was going to transform that into this.
Wow.
What magic?
Is that
Magic.
really a $100 bill?
It's my son's birthday on Sunday. He got a little bit of money for his birthday to put in the college fund.
Oh,
so
my gosh.
I was planning to go to the
Money
bank
bags.
on my way. Come on. I was planning to... Do your kids never get money for their college
Not
funds?
$100. Oh, my Lord.
I was planning on going to the bank, put some money in the college fund on my way down here. Just didn't get around to it. So
I'm not going to say much about this, but Mr. Birkett lives a life of
Get outta here.
insane luxury. It's like he's got falcons and gilded cages and little baby giraffe. It's crazy.
Where do you live
know.
again?
I live on the east side. I keep it real. 313.
East side. All right. So all right, Gross Point Carlos and I will get on to the matter of predicting this game, Carlos. And look,
All right.
still a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth about
For the
last
Chargers,
week, right?
because they went to overtime last week. And
Yeah,
blew a big lead.
sorry, they did, right? Both teams blew big leads in the fourth quarter. Chargers hung on to win, or came back to win, I guess, after letting that game get tied up. The Lions' fate was not the same. They ended up tying. But look, I haven't got the sense that there's much hangover. I mean, you talk to players in the locker room like, Quandre Diggs, when someone asked him about it the other day, he was like, how do you get over it? If you have a bad day, what do? We just go back to work the next day. And he said, same thing with us. We're the same as you. We're just normal people too. We just go back to work.
That's not true.
I think there's something to that, right?
It bothers you. It bothers you. If you take pride in what you do, it should bother you.
But he didn't say it didn't bother him. He just said,
well,
that's
of course.
how you
What are you
get
going to
over
do?
it,
Just
right?
sleep
Yeah.
under the covers, of course.
And so, yes, it bothers you, and yes, it's a different dynamic because obviously they're judged on 16 performances. That's it, right? So you can't afford to have one slip up like they did last week. But the general point being, I don't think there's going to be a hangover this game. That it doesn't concern me that all of a sudden, like, last year we saw the avalanche sort of take hold of this team where one bad thing after another they just kept piling up. I don't think that's the case this fall. I don't get that sense right now. At least I'm not worried about them in that regard.
Well, it wasn't as bad as last year was horrible. The Monday night gut punch. I mean, that was a nightmare. I mean, they'll have nightmares about this. It'll haunt their dreams until they retire. I mean, it was that bad. This wasn't as bad, but it was pretty bad. And I do think that the one thing that is concerning for everybody on this team, the Lions, the coaches, the players, if they start seeing it go sideways, there may be some panic because they know the next 2 games coming up against the Chiefs or the Eagles and the Chiefs are going to be really tough sledding. So they can't afford to look bad in this game. They can lose the game, but they can't look bad doing it. They can't give up a big lead. That they can't get run over. They can't, have bad communication, bad whatever it is. They can't suffer. Can't be a bad look.
No, I agree. And someone had asked me on my chat today, like how much panic is there, and is there more panic if they lose? Well, look, the thing is, like 0-1-1 would not be like it's not like that's an impossible hole to dig out of. But when you look at what comes next, that's when the task starts. Yeah, that's when it starts looming pretty large, right? The Eagles are one of the best teams in the NFC. The Chiefs are one of the best teams in the NFL. I mean, Green Bay Packers Monday night in Lambeau, that's not an easy one. So this is an incredibly important game for that regard because the Lions can't afford to have, like you said, they can't afford to have a sloppy performance because they can't afford to have a slip-up. And if they do have a sloppy performance against the Chargers, that's a team that even in its weakened condition, not Ferris Bueller, but even in its weakened condition, it would be able to take advantage of
my weakened condition
of the Lions. I mean, look, they're without 4 of their maybe top 7 players, right? No Melvin Gordon, Russell Okung is not playing, Derwin James is hurt, Hunter Henry is out. So, it's a team that's ripe for the picking, but Austin Eckler's still a pretty good player. Keenan Allen's a really good player. They have a really good pass rush. And let's not forget the Lions aren't completely healthy either. Taylor Decker didn't do anything at practice on Friday. Jerry Davis didn't do anything at practice on Friday. They got a couple little injury concerns that are hanging over their head too.
I would say the Lions are in better shape as far as their personnel. They have most of their starters, the guys they want. Everybody's a little bit dinged up. Even after the first game, there's something here and there. But Quandre Diggs says they have a pretty much borderline or guaranteed Hall of Famer in Phillip Rivers out there. They have enough pieces, the Chargers, I think, to scare somebody to go on the road. You have a savvy veteran like him. They have enough pieces where they can make something happen. They're not a pushover. And this game just can go. It just can go into the way, really.
For sure. Is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Famer in your mind?
No.
He
hasn't won enough big games. I mean, he's been around a long time. Really accurate passer. Has a respectable lot of people as competitor. He's fun. He's fiery, but I don't think of him like, to me, Hall of Famer, I think, your shoo-ins, your Drew Breeses, those kind of guys, Brady's, all that kind of stuff. And he's competing in an era with some pretty darn good quarterbacks.
Right.
So what do you think, Hall of Fame voter?
No, I think like I said, he's definitely going to get discussed. I don't put him in that category of being the best at his position in an era, even for a short stretch. It's not like you looked at 3 years where we're like, Phillip Rivers the best quarterback in the NFL from 2009 to 2011. And I think the lack of hardware will hurt him. Certainly he has the numbers, but I don't know if he's going to get in at the end of the day. So I don't know if he's I don't know if I agree with Quandre on that one.
Let me ask you this: I don't want to get too sidetracked, but just when you look at a Hall of Famer player, especially quarterback, and you look at who they had, it's kind of an indictment. I mean, like Stafford will never, I think, be discussed for the Hall of Fame if he were to finish playing now. But part of it is because he had Calvin Johnson, and it's like, well, with Calvin Johnson, what did you do? Not much. He had Antonio Gates, who's a shoo-in for Hall of Fame. So do you look at that as you had some pretty good pieces? You had a Hall of Famer,
Antonio Gates, LaDainian Tomlinson early in his career, if I'm not mistaken.
Did he have LT?
I think
Sproles too.
I think LT was still playing after Breeze took over.
Yeah.
Or after
good
Rivers
pieces.
took over for Breeze. I think it all. I guess I don't look at that a ton, or I haven't looked at that a ton. I tend to reward greatness. Like, I think if you're the best player in the NFL for more than a 1 year stretch, right? Not like, he had one great season.
Right.
If you look at a short span and you say, man, that guy was the best player at his position in the NFL. On top of that, you look at the numbers, you look at the accomplishments from a team standpoint. I think that's what sort of goes into it for me. Those are the biggest things I weigh. And I don't know. I don't know if Rivers quite cuts the muster. I think he's a very good quarterback. I think he's had a really nice career. Obviously he's done some good things, and he can still do some good things on the field. But whether that's enough to open the door to Canton or not, I am not sure. Well, I did want to, when you mentioned, or when I mentioned Quandre, it just made me think of one other thing. And you said the quote. The one quote that made me laugh this week, Kerryon Johnson. Yesterday, I don't know if you were in there when he was talking a little bit, and he said, in sports, all your life you're a winner or a loser, and now you're a tire. Like, it just... I thought it was a great way to put it. All your life you're a winner or a loser, and now you're a tire. Like, you just don't... How do you how do you? I don't know.
It's weird in football. It's an uncommon result.
So, yeah, it's wild. It's not like hockey. So it's. Anyways, all right. So look, I think we both agree that stopping that Chargers pass rush is going to be paramount for the Lions to succeed offensively, defensively. I'll just ask one thing from you before we get to our predictions. Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, like who do the Lions have to focus on stopping first? Phillip Rivers. They have some weapons on that side of the ball. So who do you sort of build your game plan around stopping?
Rivers. You have to. He's the thing I've always admired about his game, the accuracy, but he can be accurate anywhere. Short, mid-range, and long passes. I think the Lions, if you're the Lions, you want to pick your poison and shut down Keenan Allen, have Slay Allen, make sure, if Austin Eckler beats you, he beats you. If one of their tight ends or, they scheme it up and go underneath or whatever, with shorter passes, all right, whatever. You can, die by 1,000 paper cuts. But, just Rivers is so surgical when he gets rolling. So don't let him beat you. You should be able to keep that team in check at home with the defense and the crowd on your side, the noise. That's what I think. Keenan Allen, don't let him kill you.
No, I agree. I would put Slay on Allen. I would do my best not to let Keenan Allen get off. Mike Williams dealing with a little knee injury over there. But you mentioned it. If Austin Eckler, he scored 3 touchdowns last week, and all credit to him. And I think the Lions are legitimate in that they're concerned about him. They know that he can do some things to beat them. He's a very good receiving back. Obviously has run the ball well in the past. Didn't have a huge rushing game this past week, but I think if you're the Lions, you trust your rushing defense enough to say, hey, we're going to be able to stop the run. We're going to be able to limit the run. Let's take Keenan Allen out of this game. And you're right. If you nickel and dime it with Austin Eckler and you get down the field and you put a couple touchdowns up, more credit to you. So I think we're in lockstep there that, how the Lions have to win. Now it's about will they win. So let me throw it to you, Carlos. Will the Lions win?
All right. Yes, but with an asterisk. It's going to go to overtime again, Dave. I hate to break it to you.
If you're right, you get this $1, Carlos. You get that.
I get my own $1.
Yes.
Oh, thank. Yeah, I'm going to say 27-24 Lions. They're going to pull it out. Matt Prater field goal to win it in overtime.
I thought you were coming with another tie. You didn't want to do that. Some historic start for the Lions.
Can you imagine? Yeah. No, I couldn't do it. What do you say?
God, I'm with you.
Overtime win.
Not an overtime win, but I think the Lions win this game. I just, like I said, my sense is that, this is a team that they feel comfortable with where they are, even though they know they blew a game, week 1. They like their lot. They know what's coming up, obviously. They know how important this game is. And I think, again, with the Chargers in the Ferris Bueller state of condition, I think the Lions are, this is a game that they should win. This is, at home opener, for the season. Look, these are games that you have to take. I forget. It was probably a good one. I don't remember. I buried that one. But no, these are games that you have to take care of if you want to contend for a playoff spot. And the Lions, they certainly think that they can be a playoff contending team. So I have the Lions winning 27-21.
27-21? We'll have 27.
Yeah.
All right. You have more faith in them than I do. 6-point win.
I do, but I had faith in them winning by 2 touchdowns last week, and that certainly went out the door after about 3 quarters.
I do think this is a not a referendum, but kind of a point that's really important for the coaching staff, for Matt Patricia, the coaching staff, because you let that game slip away last week. Your
our light came back on.
I got a good idea, Dave. I got a really good idea now. Yeah, that's you can't let this happen. You cannot. This is a game that, yes, the Chargers should not pushovers necessarily, but you can't let this happen again. This is a game with the 2 other ones coming up. You got to take advantage. You have to, especially after what happened last week. It should be a wake-up call. There should be, they should be demanding a lot from the players, from the coaches, saying, we got to take care of business at home opener. We can't have a repeat of last year. There's a lot of things riding on the line with this game. I think that, they have to prove themselves, like you said, with the games coming up, games you can win, don't waste them.
You heard it from him right there. He doesn't know much, but he does know that. And there's the light went off when I started.
I know where the Chargers started.
I was going to say, just, you know what, bring that bet up with your buddies at a bar. But remember, if they say Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, that counts too, because Anaheim is Los Angeles.
Oh, my.
Right? It's close enough.
No, it's in Orange County. They're not in the same county.
But it's close enough.
No.
Los Angeles is a big metropolitan area.
Didn't you see Swingers when he says, I'm from L.A. too? He's like, Anaheim. It's this totally different thing.
Right. But he says he's from L.A. too. I think I deserve credit for that. That's my $1.
No. Sorry. You owe me lunch.
Fans, let me know. Is that my dollar or Carlos's? Let us know. All right, that'll do it for us. Again, Lions, Chargers, 1 p.m. Sunday, Ford Field. As always, we'll be there to have all the Lions news. For Carlos Monarrez, I'm Dave Birkett, Freep.com.